Yolanda, for allowing us to really
And
enjoy the conversation with you.
yeah, definitely was amazing. I thought we were going into some analysis, which I just had hypotheses about, and I think the beginning was taking quite a, you know, big turn when Dr. Ben just fished out the other hidden wondering thoughts. Yeah.
So I love how you mentioned you had your own hypothesis and there was a turnaround and the smile. So I'm really wondering what is it that you are appreciating about the turns that this conversation took?
I I think he saw my polarity very early, like straight away. And he saw how I was, kind of drawing the line. Um, so it's like, I think I really appreciate that because he was right about the stiffness of this construct. And he was also right about these two things are not necessarily a sort of a causal relationship, which I was also not sure. So I didn't bring out, that hypothesis in the first place. And when he asked me what else, in the sense that he was, asking me what else, uh, I I almost felt like I could breathe out because holding something that I don't believe in was quite tiring. And the coach was like immediately spotted and say, yeah, come on, these are not necessarily, the real factor. What else do you know? But then at the same time, he was also very tender to make me feel, yeah, it's okay if I don't know a lot. Just, he said, I'm here to kind of be your, did he say soundboard or something? So I felt quite allowed to not know, like didn't feel the shame, which I didn't realize I was holding the shame. Like, how come I don't understand what this thing is about? Um, and I think that was really helpful.
That's so beautiful, Yolanda. It's as you were sharing this just now, it brought to me to the forefront that first definition of coaching being a thought-provoking partnering between the coach and the client. And you brought a few really beautiful things about what the coach is observing in you, where he put his hand right away on the spot, and also the tender hand. So I'm just wondering, what is something, and then I'll pass on to Lena, you being a practitioner and also stepping in as a client a few times, what is something that is becoming more, present for you right now as a practitioner that you would like to share with us too?
Um, I think the power of the third loop thinking, um, which is something we need to enable our clients to do. And I think when he called out for, this Yolanda and then this Yolanda and then this Yolanda was observing, um, it actually felt difficult. And so I'm also able to better appreciate the clients must be feeling at that moment, being asked to become an observer of what they are doing to themselves, what they're trying to do. But I felt the space at that moment. And I think that's a lot of trust building to that point, that I felt comfortable to brave that unknown, um, and to really see myself. And I think also is linked to the beginning of, there is some air he was giving me the message about it's okay if you don't know. It's okay if you make a mistake. Something he didn't say explicitly, but I felt. And that was, I think, what was really happening at feedback of this whole coaching session for me.
Thank you. Beautiful. And I'm going to pass on to Lena as well.
Thank you, Azadeh. Hi, Yolanda. Thank you so much, first of all, for allowing us and to share your story with us and your thought as well. So we really appreciate that. So actually, what I would like, I'm curious about it, is that by the end of the session, what stood out for me is that you were reflecting by the end, and then suddenly you shared with us the sentence, I should be relaxing into my presence. And this sentence really stood out for me. And I'm curious to know, like, what was coming up for you when you shared that thought with us?
The key unlocked this was when the coach said, you feel it. And that's the moment I felt, I started to feel. So it's like I brought topics that were very in my thinking space. And then when I said the word tender hands, I think I was starting to get in touch with the feeling space. And then when the coach said, you feel it, then that's how it kind of just opened up. And I was able to sink in with the feel.
Beautiful, we feel. It was very obvious for us as audience, as observers, how the shift happened when you just realized that. So I was really curious to know what's behind that. And I'm wondering, was there any specific feeling arising at that moment for you? Can you name it? Give it a name?
Yeah, even now I'm feeling it like it's really warm on the back, and it's like like having a sunbath. I don't know, just really like just relaxing into that presence. Yeah.
Was it like surrendering to that feeling, what you are sharing with us now?
I'm sorry.
Is it like just surrendering to this, to what you were feeling at that moment, and
Yeah,
just let it be?
I think the surrendering is one aspect, and the other aspect is enjoy. And I think
Wow.
this is why relax is surrender plus joy to me.
Beautiful, beautiful, Yolanda. Thank you for sharing that. And last question for you, because I know that we have guests today with us. So I would like to ask you if you would like to share with us, what is it that you appreciate about this transformative coaching process with us today? So maybe the guest can hear about it a little bit.
I think in reflection, I brought a very narrow topic, like very well defined. And then I say, okay, this is the problem, and then maybe this is the reason. And then so it's very stiff. And I think the coach just loosened that up and challenged me. Are you open to be challenged? Right? So then slowly he opened up a much bigger space about me being a person. And there's a lot of recognition of my own strengths and preference, he used the word. So I think that whole person coaching, the who really stands out for me. So he's not coaching my problem or my hypothesis, but he's coaching me as a whole person.
Thank you so much, Yolanda, for sharing that. And again, this is what we want to share, that this coaching is about focusing on the who of the client. Absolutely. Thank you, Yolanda, and how the client is relating to the situation instead of just focusing on what happened, because most of the client will come to us knowing what happened, but they are not really conscious about how they are relating to the situation. So thank you, Yolanda, for bringing this up. And I see that Dr. Ben has